So many of us start our day the exact same way. We brew a coffee, and then we toss those used grounds right in the trash without a second thought. But what if I told you that you're throwing away the very superfood your garden is starving for? It really sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But that one little daily habit could be the biggest missed opportunity for your garden. Well, today we're going to show you exactly how to tap into that hidden potential. So, here's the game plan. We're going to show you how to turn what you think of as a waste product into one of your garden's most valuable resources. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we put this into practice? Well, it's surprisingly simple. There are really 3 core methods, and we're going to walk through each and every one. All right, here they are. First, you've got direct incorporation. That's the easiest one, for sure. Second is compost addition, which is perfect if you've already got a pile going. And then there's the third one, the liquid soil drench. Now this one is a real game changer that can give you the fastest results. Now this is where you can really start to tailor the approach to what you need. See that last row? If you have plants that are looking a little sad or struggling, that liquid drench is your secret weapon. Yeah, it's a little more effort, but you're going to get fast, noticeable results. All right, so we've covered the how, but honestly, understanding the why is what's going to make this a permanent part of your gardening routine. So let's get into the science of what's actually happening here. So here's the most crucial point. Used coffee grounds, they contain nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Yep, the NPK you see on all those fertilizer bags. But here's the key difference. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that give your plants this harsh jolt, coffee grounds provide a slow, steady release of nutrients. Think of it like a balanced meal versus a sugar rush. There's no spike, there's no crash, just consistent feeding that your plants absolutely love. And that's not even the only benefit. Here's the second major plus. You're not just feeding your plants, you're feeding your soil's entire workforce. Earthworms go crazy for the organic matter in coffee grounds, and their activity, well, that creates a healthier soil ecosystem right from the ground up. Okay, now it's time to tackle the one question, the one myth that stops most people from even trying this. We are going to clear up this whole acidity thing once and for all. I'm sure this thought has probably crossed your mind. It's one of the most persistent myths in all of gardening. But the fear, it's really based on a big misunderstanding of what's actually left in the grounds after you brew your coffee. So here's the simple truth. Yes, fresh, unbrewed coffee grounds are acidic, absolutely. But, and this is a big but, the acid in coffee is water-soluble. So where does it go? It goes into your coffee cup. What you're left with, the used grounds, have had almost all of that acid literally washed away. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Here's the data to prove it. The typical pH of used brewed coffee grounds is somewhere between 6.5 and 6.8, which is very, very close to neutral. So when you use them in normal amounts, they will not mess with your soil's pH. You can officially stop worrying. Okay, one quick but crucial piece of practical advice here. While the grounds are totally safe for your soil's pH, that little bit of caffeine that's left over can sometimes inhibit the germination and early growth of really young plants. So just wait until your seedlings are established, maybe about 3 or 4 inches tall, before you start adding grounds directly around them. Now, let's zoom out and look at the long-term impact, because this isn't just a one-time fix. This is about creating a compounding effect that builds a healthier, more resilient garden year after year. Just look at how this plays out. In the first month or so, all the action is underground. The earthworms and microbes get to work. But by midsummer, you'll start to see visible changes. Your soil will be darker, it'll hold water better, and your plants' leaves will be greener. By the end of this season, you've fundamentally improved your soil, setting yourself up for an even better start next year. Hey, if you're finding this useful and you want more practical, no-cost tips for building an amazing garden, just take a second to like this explainer and subscribe to the channel. It really helps, and we share new tips just like this one every single week. So we'll end on this thought. We've seen how one tiny change, just saving your coffee grounds, can create this massive positive impact. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other free, simple habits are we overlooking that could completely transform the health of our gardens?
All right, welcome back. In part 1, we covered the nuts and bolts, the how-to of using coffee grounds in your garden. Now we're going to dig deeper into the practitioner's journey. What to actually expect, why this method works so well in the long run, and how to master this habit all year long. Okay, so here's our game plan.
First, we'll walk through what your soil's very first season with coffee grounds is going to look like. Then we'll get into the biological advantage, the why behind it all. After that, we'll talk about developing a real gardener's intuition, which is super cool. And we'll wrap it all up with a practical 4-season guide.
So first up, your soil's first season. The big takeaways here are patience and observation, because you're about to witness a really amazing transformation right in your own garden bed. So what's really going on down there? Well, let me just say, you're not going to see a massive change overnight, and that is perfectly okay. The real magic isn't happening on the surface, not at first. It's all about the foundational work going on in the soil, building a healthy ecosystem from the ground up.
This timeline really shows how it all adds up. In those first couple of weeks, think of it as an underground wake-up call. The microbes are kicking into gear, and the earthworms are showing up to the party. Then, around weeks 4 to 6, you'll start to see it. The soil might look darker, feel crumblier. Your plant's leaves might even get a deeper shade of green. By midsummer, the whole bed is just better. It holds moisture longer, plants are stronger. And by the end of the season, you've built a seriously improved growing environment for free, which sets a whole new, higher standard for next year.
So this begs the question, how does this stack up against just using a regular bag of fertilizer? Well, this is where we get into the real biological advantage. You're not just feeding your plants. You're building a whole system that's way healthier.
Here's the absolute crucial point. Synthetic fertilizers are like an energy drink for your plant. They feed it directly, you get that big spike, and then a crash. And over time, that whole cycle can actually deplete the life in your soil. Coffee grounds are the total opposite. They're like a slow, nourishing meal for the soil itself. They feed the entire ecosystem down there, giving a slow, steady release of nutrients that builds up your soil's strength season after season.
And what you're really doing is supporting a whole community of these unseen heroes. You're feeding the earthworms, which are basically nature's little tillers, aerating everything. You're feeding the microbes that break everything down and make nutrients available, and you're feeding the fungal networks, which are like a super highway for your plants. You're building an ecosystem that literally works for you.
And when you learn to work with that ecosystem, something really cool starts to happen. It's something experienced gardeners know well, but don't always talk about. It's this idea of developing a feel for your soil. Let's call it soil intuition.
This is so true. This one simple, consistent habit forces you to pay closer attention. You're not just mindlessly dumping the grounds, you're observing. You start to notice these tiny shifts in color and texture, and you see the life that's teeming in your soil. It just dramatically deepens your understanding of what's going on in your garden.
Now, this isn't some kind of magic. It's a totally practical skill that's built on observation. First, you apply the grounds consistently to create a baseline. Then you start looking closer. You notice how the soil in one bed holds water just a little bit longer after a rainstorm. You see an explosion of earthworms right where you've been putting the grounds. And that's the aha moment, when you connect your action to a direct result. Suddenly, you're not just following the rules from a book, you're having a conversation with your garden. And trust me, the knowledge you get from that is more valuable than anything.
Okay, to make all of this as easy as possible, let's break it down into a simple year-round plan. This is what to do in each of the 4 seasons to get the absolute most out of your coffee grounds. This chart right here is your roadmap for the whole year. In early spring, you just spread a layer and scratch it in to wake everything up. During the main growing season, keep doing that weekly surface application, but maybe supplement with that liquid coffee tea drench we talked about in part 1. In late summer, when plants are working hard, you can focus more on that liquid drench to give them a direct boost. And finally, in autumn, just add one last layer to your cleared beds and let winter do all the hard work for you. Simple as that.
You know, this really gets to the heart of it all. It's not about expensive products or some kind of secret formula. The best, most beautiful, most productive gardens are just built with good, simple habits that you practice over and over again.
And this is one of those habits. It's just one small change to your morning routine, but it can truly transform your garden, not just for one season, but for every single year that follows.
Hey, if you found this useful and you're ready to build a better garden with less effort, make sure you subscribe. We share a new practical tip just like this one every single week. Thanks for watching.